Hey, Chris.
Hi, Nicholas. Good to meet.
Absolutely, man. I'm so sorry for the delay.
I understand tight schedule for sure, but yeah, good to touch base here. And I assume that normally it's just kind of just a free flow, whatever questions have come up.
Yeah. Normally, we have these great breakdowns here that I cover with you, and your campaign did extremely well. That's pretty. That's pretty great. So on the dials, we ended up getting 5 leads on 527 contacts, or on 527, yeah, records, which is huge. You know, when we're averaging 1 lead per 100 dials, it's definitely working to a degree. You know, even if those leads aren't quote unquote great, it's that the average is what we're looking for, is step one, right? Like, are they even coming in a sense? And then on the text messages, we did 483 texts, 33 people replied, and out of those 33, 5 of those became leads. Which is pretty rock and roll. Now, this is what we love to see on land. This is what land should look like, if that makes this is I will say this is best case. When you're averaging 1 per 100, you are in what I would call best case. So that is great. But tell me, how have things been going on your side of the leads?
Yeah, certainly. And I know, you know, since I'm getting extra inbound, like you guys aren't able to track that. And my partner usually goes over some more of those metrics, but from all the callbacks I got, I mean, maybe it added another 5 to 6 potentially around there. I mean, 2 of those probably were wrong number set up, but the other callbacks were good. And in fact, one of them, and that, I think this is my first callback. I wasn't used to script yet. I thought it went really poorly.
Yeah.
Talking to him, trying to get the info. But currently we're in escrow for his property that should close 2 weeks from now. And like my company, we really started to boost our you know, the type of properties we're going after. So, you know, probably 50 to 100K plus purchases. So it's naturally a more competitive game. You have more savvy sellers on average. And this guy, I mean, didn't even seem like a typical motivated seller. Not dire financial straits, but he just had a property for a while.
Yeah.
That he still sold at probably like half price. Yeah, for like 100 for us, that we think can sell. You know, worst case 150, but probably closer to 200, 250. That yeah, we should close here. So I mean, that alone obviously makes it worth it.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely happy with that. You know, of course followed your you know, YouTube recommendation. Yeah, I just have to be on top of these leads 100%. I you know, restructured my business to have more slack time personally, so that I can be, you know, kind of immediately on top, and before diligencing a lot, just like at least get these guys on the phone, figure out if they're even qualified or not. And the rest, you know, weren't as much, but you know, that's certainly okay. We can still mail them, hit them up another time. They might be open. So, you know, I just mentioned that too. I mean, yeah, it's yeah, obviously great to have a new marketing method.
It's
Where,
working.
again, knock on wood, I never counted until the deed's in our name, but you know, everything is in process to head in that direction. And yeah, so with that in mind, I mean, my partners and I have been in the game since about 3 years ago. And I mean, we've traditionally done a lot of mail. I mean, tens of thousands of dollars on that. But you know, that has slowed down more in terms of, again, qualified leads getting in, again, tougher environment, real estate, like market's changed and so forth. And so, you know, trying to start to have a conversation like, do we adjust this a bit more? Because even looking at the non-qualified leads that have come in from cold calling, like it's definitely at a higher rate than what I'm getting in mail currently.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
a similar pricing. You guys are about like 50 cents a dial or something.
Right. Yeah.
So it's comparable.
Yeah.
So, I'm just trying to figure out whether that might be one that, a method we really push and, start spending really, really significant dollars into. So that's why I just wanted to kind of understand a little bit more of your guys' process. I know some of your team members were mentioning doing like 3x dials for each lead on a given list. So I wanted to again understand kind of your ideal timing with that, and how you might structure the dials. Like, okay, if you called this lead at such and such time, do you try a different time the next time to try to reach out for them? Or is it like, hey, you try like a Saturday one time, a different day here? And then as a follow-up to that is, can we expect, or do you guys have data backing up those second and third dials as generating as many leads as the first time around?
Gotcha. Yeah. So a couple things there. The cool thing is you are in full control whenever you hire us. So I'll give you an example. If you send over 1,000 leads and purchase 1,000 dials, we call everybody once. Okay. But if you purchase 1,000 leads, excuse me, you send 1,000 leads, but purchase 2,000 dials, that actually equals 2.5 times each person being touched. And the reason why it's closer to 3 than 2, even though it doesn't seem like it, it's because our contact rate often is like over 10%. So when we dial each time, we're getting 20% on the phone, which means another 20% is being touched a third time. That's kind of how that works. So that's kind of how that system works. As far as the randomization, it's never in the same day. It's always at least 24 hours later. And the cool thing, the way I run my employees is I let them work whenever they want to. So that randomization, I honestly believe serves you very well, as to where you no longer have to worry about, if are we calling again at 9 a.m.? But since my employees work all over the time clock, anywhere from 9 a.m. your time zone to 7:30 p.m. your time zone is the hours that we allow them to work. Then anytime in there is when that happens. So it's pretty random to serve you, and it's done on a completely different day.
Gotcha. And sorry if I missed it in there, but regarding how many leads might come out of subsequent
of the follow-up,
Yeah.
Honestly, the real answer to that question is how many came out of it the first time, right? So one thing I recommend doing is we dial through it once before we dial through it again, right? And so like if you're like to send me over a list of 10,000 records, my honest opinion to you is let's dial the full list, gauge the results, and then if we like the results, only then do we redial,
Yeah.
because I will say if it's a dud the first round, it's not going to be a stud the second round. But if it's a stud the first round, it will most likely be very good on the second round. And the other good thing about that strategy is if we wait till we're done with the whole list, they're almost cold again, as opposed to going, oh, this number called me the other day, blah, blah, or them not answering again. So it might serve us on both facilities to dial it all the way through and then do it again. But we could do it either way.
Gotcha. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. And then in regard to, some of these amount of dials in your guys' spreadsheet that, either disinterested or some other factor, wrong number, whatever.
Right.
I don't even know if you break that down between those two, but are those exportable back to me?
Absolutely.
Like, I know somebody's like not, then I don't want to like mail them or text them either. So just seeing if
So
we can get access to that.
What I would do is you want to email us. This is a manual operation because we do it manually every time, but you want to email us and ask us for a call log. Okay. And you can get specific. Look, Highwell, for the last 3 weeks, send me all the not interesteds, all the no answers, and all the leads or whatever. And then on one spreadsheet, you'll get all those, and then you can filter those however you'd like as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, very helpful. So yeah, those were kind of the key things I wanted to touch base with you here. But again, we got super lucky here. It's almost hard to attribute with such a small sample size. But
Right.
I would say even again with the amount of leads we're getting per batch, not interested or not, right now, yeah, I'm getting a higher hit rate
Perfect.
with calls versus mail. So yeah, again, I'm going to chat with my partners about this, but I can see us even starting some like a larger campaigns where it probably will just be a full cold call blast and seeing how that does. So yeah, but awesome to start working with you guys. I think really interesting operation. I got forwarded over from Travis's group, so
Oh, great.
glad that he was able to introduce us.
Yeah, me too, Chris. And if you need anything, man, just feel free to let me know. You may know this, but everything gets cheaper with the size you buy it in. So I think the 200 dials, it's 40 cents, and at 10,000 dials, it goes down to 33 cents. So,
Right.
you end up saving there as well. But yeah, man, so I just wanted to let you know that, the cool thing about us First Mail maybe is that, the more you buy, the cheaper it gets.
Right.
But let me know if any questions pop up or if you need anything in the meantime. I'll be right here.
Sounds good, Nicholas. Good to chat. We'll
Yeah.
be in touch.
Thank you, brother. See you.
Bye.